What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I have another unboxing. It's back-to-back weekends with an unboxing. Not necessarily weekends at this point because this is going out on a Tuesday, but there will already be a video out. If you want to go check it out, it's the Airplane Shop in Miami video. That was an awesome store to visit and got a couple items there. You can go check it out to see what I picked up. But here I've got another order from Squatchy's Diecast Hanger, and it's another model that I really wanted to get. It's one for the Retro FSD project, so that's going to be coming back next month. Super excited about it, because this is a really big acquisition. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Aeroclassics 1:400 scale Western Airlines Boeing 720 with a Flying W livery. Very excited to have this model, and it looks like we are in really good condition in there. So super excited to have my second 720, and I love the box on this, because the other one that I got, which is an Eastern example, doesn't have this type of box. It has a special box for Eastern Airlines releases. So without further ado, let's head into the studio and unbox this. And here we go for the unboxing of the Aeroclassics 1:400 scale Western Airlines Boeing 720 with the Flying W livery. This will be my second Flying W aircraft, the other being the 727 by Gemini Jets, also a Retro FSD model. I also do have that 737-300, but that is a later iteration of that livery. They call it the Bud Light since it's a polished version of this livery. So white top variant here, which is the more common variant and one that's more sought after. So we have the Aeroclassics logo up here, which is just in a standard font. There's a price tag. It was 50 bucks for it, really good deal for it. Nice red and blue stripes across the middle of the box and a little cutout in there. 720 printed down there, excuse me. Aeroclassics Online, which that domain probably doesn't work anymore. There's a right side of the box with part of the red and blue stripes. 1:400 scale, adult collectible model warning, and then there's the stripe on that side as well. And in the back of the box, a very lovely 720 tail. And for those that are not really familiar with the 720, it's essentially a shortened 707. They gave it the 720 model name just because that's kind of what they had in their naming inventory at the time. So let's go ahead and open this up, pop the top on it, and see what she's all about. Ooh, nice. Looks beautiful. God, I forget how good the Flying W livery looks on all their planes. Gonna look really nice alongside the other stuff they have. The 720, it just feels small. This one feels a lot smaller, but wow. How about that? Looks like this is a little bent on the tail, which is a little unfortunate. Bend it back into shape and looks like we're good. All right, cool. Awesome 720 from Aeroclassics, and also from the folks at Squatchy's, who once again, their selection is unbeaten. You can't beat their selection, especially with all the rare models that they get. They get a little bit of everything, so you know, always check their stock, see what they got going, see what they got coming in. They also have a 1-200 collection sale that they're still going through right now, so you know, keep an eye on that if you're in that 1-200 realm, if you need any big planes over there. So a lot of good stuff coming for Squatchy, and really excited for what else they've got coming up in the future, and I'll be excited to visit their storefront at some point down the line, maybe next year, but we'll see what happens. But here she is, the very lovely Western 720 by Aeroclassics, another Retro FSD model. I'll talk a little bit more about what I know about their presence in FSD. So we'll get started with the review. So starting off, we have the black tip for the nose, and then we've got the cockpit windows right there. Little fleet code 167 is printed on there. There's the L1 door, also the nose gear and nose gear door. And then we see the W come into play, and then the little Western titles above the passenger windows. And it transitions into the nice swizzle stick livery. That's the other nickname for this particular livery. With a very lovely Pratt & Whitney engines molded on there. Little Pratt & Whitney logo also printed on the engines. They should be on the other side as well, and they are. Awesome. And then move towards the back. Not too much to report on with this livery, but it is a very nice, simple livery. There's the rear boarding door right there. American flag and the registration November 3167. And there's a very lovely Western tail. And I was able to bend back the antenna there on the top. That's a distinct feature with the 707s and the 720s. So glad that was able to bend back into place. And hopefully that doesn't fall out, because that kind of suck, but oh well. If it does fall out, it is what it is, so can't complain too much. I'll just make another one, I guess, with whatever I can find. Right side of the aircraft, not too much to report on. That's different anyway. There is a luggage door down there. Smaller boarding door on this side, and there's 2 more luggage doors on the rear of the aircraft. Another look at the very lovely Western tail, appropriate for the era. The days of the Wally Bird commercials and the airline being the only way to fly. Bottom of the aircraft we have, excuse me, another nice just silver print, or paint rather, all across the bottom of the aircraft and also the underneath of the wings. And then the top of the aircraft, you can see the one little beacon printed on there, and not much else to report on in terms of the actual livery. Awesome model here from Aeroclassics, an older release. I think this is from like the mid-2000s if I remember right. I'll have to check again, but this is a much older release, so it is very hard to find. And I've been needing one of these for Retro FSD, so super excited to finally have this. So these aircraft actually flew to Sioux Falls, and as far as I know, this was the largest passenger aircraft to ever come into Sioux Falls, at least on regularly scheduled flights. We did have other quad-engined aircraft like the Electra, which Western also operated, and also Braniff had them for a brief time as well. But as in terms of the jet aircraft, this is the largest like fan jet that ever came into Sioux Falls on regularly scheduled passenger flights. And in 1975, these flew daily flights from Denver with a nice lunch service on board, so really cool to note all of that. And these operated from around the late 60s or so up until about sometime in the 70s. I have not been able to ascertain exactly when Western stopped flying the 720 here, but I'm thinking, based on the Departed Flights website, it's got to be between 1975 and 1979, since the 79 listing only shows the 727 and 737 for Western. They did get rid of this type by, I think it was like 1980. Right at the start of the 80s, they got rid of the 720s and focused more on their 727s and 737 operations, which is what Western would primarily operate until they got the DC-10s, the spaceship aircraft that they would use for their long-haul flights. And that was really all the aircraft that Western operated in this era. And then, of course, the 737-300s, can't forget those, when those got the Bud Light livery right before they merged with Delta Airlines. So, not sure where the 720 went, but I'll do a retro review on this aircraft down the line to take a look at how this aircraft evolved over time and who operated it and all that fun stuff. And of course, I'll do a 1975 Retro FSD update, which will be featuring this aircraft. And again, it still feels like I'm looking at a 1 to 500 aircraft. I have to remind myself, this is a shortened 707. This is how it's supposed to be, but this is a really cool aircraft. I actually love the look of the 720 with the Flying W livery, so very fortunate to have picked this up from Squatchy. Again, highly recommend their store. If you can find some good stock that you really want in your collection, go get it, because that's probably the only opportunity that you're ever going to get. And I'm hoping that they can get some of my white whale models in, because this one's not really up there as a white whale, but this is certainly a sought-after one. So with this being acquired, I pretty much have everything major from the 1970s, but I still need to hunt down the Ozark DC-9 with the older livery, which Waffle unfortunately had that error with the listing, so couldn't get that one earlier in the year. And that'll do it for this unboxing. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.